Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. I feel like I'm not in the center of the frame over here. My name's Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always. What's poppin', Ricardo?
What's going on?
Nothing much. How was your Sunday?
Oh, it was good. I was sick,
Bro.
so I'm still sick.
So you said you didn't watch Sunday Night Football. Why is that?
I was like half asleep on my couch.
Oh, is it the COVID?
No, I don't think so.
You literally went. Nah, I'm not gonna rat you out. You'll probably get a test.
No. Yeah, no, I probably should. Probably.
Anyway, so yeah, Rick sounds a little under the weather today and probably tomorrow. Hopefully he's not dead by Thursday. That would be.
We'll see how that goes.
Implicable. But anyway, yes, I thoroughly enjoyed my Sunday. Lost, I believe, every single league. The exception of one. You know what it is? I draft all the same players. So when they all have a bad week, I lose every league.
Did we lose in our... Oh my gosh, we did.
Yeah,
we lost
I don't know how.
Tough league.
The tough league is 2 straight losses.
We didn't even have that bad of a week. I think it was just the other team had a really good week.
Oh,
it was a little bit of... James Conner had 40 fantasy points.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Did you not watch that game?
I did not. Well, I watched like a quarter of it.
He had 3 touchdowns in the game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Chase Edmonds is hurt.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds did get hurt, yeah. So James Conner is going to end up like a top 15 running back in fantasy football at the end of the year just because of that one game.
That's crazy.
Disgusting. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed your Sunday. You got some dubs. You know what Tuesday means, a new week of content. So we're jumping into week 10 waiver wires. We're inching closer to trade deadlines. And it's getting interesting because a lot of you have your trade deadline. We have our trade deadline in our home league and a lot of leagues like week 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Makes it more fun. But for some of you, for most people, the trade deadline's like week 11 or 12, I believe.
Yeah, something
like that. So anyway, the only thing you're going to be able to do is make waiver wire moves. But we're going to try to give you our best advice for the waiver wire this week. And then Wednesday show, obviously, we'll pump out some content about Thursday Night Football, Ravens, Miami.
Is that Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's very gross. But anyway, so let's... before we jump into that, check our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just search us. You'll find us. If you're listening on any of the podcasting platforms, please leave a review, share this pod with your friends. And then if you're watching on YouTube, click the bell for notifications, comment down below, and yeah, leave a comment and subscribe. Did I say subscribe? I can't remember.
I don't know.
So subscribe. But make sure you comment down below any questions you got for the waiver wire. And me and Rick, we're gonna get right into this gig.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's start with the quarterback position. It's gross.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Why is Trey Lance still on this list?
Because he might. If the 49ers keep losing, he's probably going to take over sooner rather than later.
I honestly think that has everything to do. I think you said yesterday Jimmy G was not having a good game.
I just said he wasn't having a great year necessarily.
Oh yeah, but he had one pick in the game that kind of sealed it for them.
And that was in the fourth quarter, though, wasn't it?
That was in the fourth quarter. He actually was playing pretty well in that particular game. He just
aren't even they're not great, but they're not bad. He has 11 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He does have 3 fumbles, so that it's not good.
Yeah. But either way, the waiver wire is thin. Very thin. At the quarterback position. Now, why am I yawning so much? You know what it is? We didn't even talk about daylight savings. My God.
Yeah.
It's dark out, and this is when we normally record, and I'm just I'm like tired. I'm deprived. I got home last night at 5 o'clock after watching the Patriots game, and I was tired.
Pitch black.
Pitch black out. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. Winter's here, I guess. But anyway, so Thursday night, Tua has a broken finger.
Yeah,
and
they're not rolling him out though.
Oh, he's not playing.
Okay.
Head coach coming from the New England system, they like to play those games. So I think Brissett's going to play. Are you okay? So if it's Tua's been on the waiver wire too, are you interested in either one of these guys against Baltimore for Thursday night?
Brissett, definitely not. Definitely not. Tua, more so, but still probably not against Baltimore. Although Baltimore's defense has not been as good this year, have they?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
They've been all right.
Right, but all right for them isn't like they're usually like top 5.
Yeah, they're like a middling defense.
Right. So, I mean, that's not an awful matchup. Brissett is a hard no, obviously.
Hard pass.
Tua, I think about it. He's actually, when Tua's played this year, in games that he started, he's actually been good fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
He has 28, 22, 16, 17. Like, that's not that bad. So if he plays, I mean, you consider it. But, yeah, I mean, you're still not – it's not like a great matchup. So
fair enough. Teddy Bridgewater. Are you intrigued by Bridgewater at all?
Not really.
Okay.
He actually, I think, had a very good week watching the game. He did take a couple sacks. I was like, only Teddy Bridgewater. So Teddy Bridgewater took sack. But he made a lot of good throws. He played well. He's been okay this year. Fantasy-wise, though, he's very up and down and more down than up.
He kind of reminds me of Jimmy G.
He also hasn't scored more than 21 fantasy points in a game. So that's kind of gross.
Oh, man, it's just – there's nothing streamable out there.
Yeah, is it a tough week? Hold on, let me look at it.
Tough week for the streaming, I guess.
Let's see.
I was gonna say too, a lot of people on the waiver wire have been. Not that this is an
Baker Mayfield. Oh, never mind. He's playing the Patriots.
What
about Big Ben versus the Lions? Sorry.
Oh, Big Ben would be great against the Lions. That's not a bad pickup at all.
It's still gross.
It's gross as frick.
We're recording this on Monday, but
he hasn't had a 20-point game all season.
Yeah.
He's not playing the Lions.
Yeah, he plays Chicago tonight.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
I apologize for that. That was slip up. So there have been people talking about it's a group with the Trey Lance crowd who are thinking that Lance is okay. Let's hypothetically talk about this because I'm not going to. I have ranted too much on Trey Lance, so I don't really want to do any more of it. But if Trey Lance was to start at some point this year and take over,
yeah,
is he even worth an ad?
I would say yes, just because of his rushing. I mean, in his 2 starts, in one of his starts against Arizona, he had 16 rushing attempts for 89 yards. So I mean, like. If he's gonna do that, then I would say yes. But you every week,
yeah.
But yeah, you would consider it.
The thought process with Trey is that if you pick him up, you can hold on to him until whenever it is. Like people are hoarding Javonte right now.
Yeah,
similar situation. Like Javonte actually should be rostered. He provides somewhat of some fantasy. What do you have, like 12 fantasy points this week?
Yeah, he put okay.
But Trey Lance is in a similar boat where he's not the starter yet. And if he becomes the starter, he could provide some fantasy like relevance.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't add him because I don't know how long he'll last as a starting quarterback, and it's one of those situations where like if Jimmy's gone, they're going with Trey. But if Jimmy is still there and they bench Jimmy for Trey Lance and then Trey starts for like 2 or 3 weeks and he's just hot garbage and then they, move away from him, then you're risking starting him in a game and then having him get sat midway through that game and losing an entire fantasy matchup essentially. So I just don't know that Trey Lance is worth it until you know he's actually going to be consistent, productive. But we're in week 10. I mean, your fantasy seasons are going to be over in 7 weeks. So, like, at this point, you need those valuable roster spaces. I don't really want to stash Trey Lance.
Yeah, I don't really either. If he becomes a starter, then maybe, but as of right now, no.
Now, the other guy that has been kind of jumping up the waiver wire rankings on the Fantasy Pros website has been Mack Jones. And I'm like, why would you ever do this? But we're going to do
again,
it.
In 2 quarterback, 12-team, super flex league, sure. But in redraft, 1 quarterback, why?
So here's the argument for this is he's got Cleveland, Atlanta, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and then Buffalo twice.
Okay.
So the Buffalo games he's not going to play well, considering when you look up some of these matchups. But there are games where if he starts to, and this is usually where quarterbacks start clicking things on, rookie quarterbacks, where they start figuring things out and start, if you're healthy and you stay healthy, every rookie quarterback that's thrust into the spotlight for the last couple of years, I feel like gets smashed in the turf and gets hurt. Freaking Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
But Zach Wilson's already hurt. Trevor Lawrence hurt his ankle. Joe Burrow tore his ACL in last year. It's bound to happen to Justin Fields and Mac Jones eventually. Just save Trey Lance for San Francisco. Wait, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mac has had some. Nothing's really been good besides that game against the Jets. So if something clicks and he figures it out, he might have fantasy success. The problem with Mac Jones, and this is the reason why he was my 5th quarterback in Dynasty rookie draft rankings at the quarterback position, was because there's no rushing upside, right? Like almost 0 rushing upside. And he would have to throw 3 touchdowns and 300 yards a game essentially to put up enough fantasy production to be relevant or basically a top 10 quarterback. And I don't know that. I mean, he could do something like that against Cleveland, Atlanta, Tennessee. I mean, the pass rushes for those 3 teams are not nearly as good as what you got against the Chargers and Carolina with, Burns and Bosa. So I feel like Cleveland, Atlanta, Tennessee is a stretch of games where he could actually be good. But I'm not like, if he goes out against Cleveland this week and he scores 25, 26 fantasy points, has a really good game, then maybe we can consider him against Atlanta. But I don't want to start him until I know.
No, you're not starting him. Don't start. I don't care if his matchups are good. He played Houston and he scored 12 points. He played Dallas.
Leagues. Maybe. You have a league with Mac Jones.
Yeah. In a dynasty league.
Superflex dynasty league. You got to keep him on your team.
Take him over Jimmy Garoppolo this week because Tua was out.
And would you get 7 points?
7 points. Yeah.
Good job. So anyway, yeah,
my week because of that.
I'm not really in on that, but I would say probably the best pickups are, you're right, for streaming options. I don't even really want Ben Roethlisberger, just looking at his numbers, and I'm looking at the 5-point touchdown league that we're in. So like, I'm that is not a good thing for those.
Yeah.
The interesting one is Tyrod, and he sucked.
He was bad.
Sucked this week. He was bad. He's on a bye week, but as Tennessee the following week, who's been good against quarterbacks. Week 1, he had 25 against Jacksonville. Week 2, he had 17. Then he was hurt, and he was very bad against Miami. Is there a chance that Tyrod could actually have some form of fantasy success down the road, enough for you to like pick him up and like hold on to him until that happens?
Yeah, maybe just for its rushing, but not this week. Definitely, obviously, because he's on a bye.
Fair
what
enough.
about Matt Ryan versus Dallas, real quick? Yeah, no, maybe.
Dallas has been good.
Probably,
past
probably not.
But
so, is there one quarterback? Who's the one quarterback you said to pick up?
It's probably Bridgewater.
See, I would say it's gross, but if Tua plays, I would probably say Tua.
Well, yeah, so obviously Tua, that goes without saying. Yeah, so Tua, Bridgewater. I actually, looking at the numbers, you're right with Matt Ryan. 21, 17, 33, 23. This is a 5-point touchdown league, but yeah, it's gross, but Dallas is not a bad matchup. Yeah, that quarterbacks. There you go. Figure it out. We're here to help
nice.
you with that, but we just ranked the quarterbacks that
I
we
would
stream.
go Tua, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I would do Tua, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, that's probably
there you go.
for the best. All right, let's move to the running back position. He's not on this list, and he's probably owned in a lot of leagues. But for right now, I think the running back to have in the Baltimore backfield right now is Devonta Freeman.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's gross.
It's because
he's getting the goal line work.
Latavius Murray did miss this week.
Yes. Yeah, I'm aware.
And that's why he got a lot of touches compared to previous
the last
weeks.
3 weeks, though,
maybe
Freeman's been good. I don't know how long Murray's out, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if Murray is out for a while, then yes, absolutely, because Freeman was like the guy. But if Murray comes back, I still kind of want to avoid that.
I would speculatively add Devonta Freeman if he's not already owned in your leagues.
Okay.
So I'll start with saying that. But anyway, interesting for the Jets. Interesting situation for the Jets. I don't know if that has anything to do with Mike White actually playing well. Did they play this week?
They did. It was
Thursday night. See, it feels like eons ago since that happened.
I know.
So Mike White,
I didn't watch that game.
He had 11 passes in the game against Indianapolis. He got hurt.
Yeah.
I don't even know who their backup is at this point.
Something Johnson.
Sheesh.
Their third string.
He did have 7 completions, 95 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
He has 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year. Interesting. Anyway, so the running game, you look at Michael Carter, and Carter obviously isn't a waiver ad. He's probably starting in a lot of leagues, but he had in the last 3 weeks, the last 4 games, 13, 12, 27, and 9, those are respectable numbers. Those are startable numbers at the running back position right now with the garbage they have. The interesting thing is before Sunday, I was actually looking at Ty Johnson as a pickup. And in the last 4 weeks, he's had 10, 10, 17, and 11. He's been their pass-catching running back.
Yeah.
So
he's been good, but he's just like he doesn't get enough touches to me where he's.
No, I mean I would agree with that. But at the running back position, if you're looking to add a waiver wire guy,
sure.
Now
it's a sure. Yeah, this
is not a pick up and start.
Okay.
He's playing Buffalo this week. But if you have a roster space, I'd pick him up.
No, that's fair. That's fair. What do you think of Benjamin?
He had some good plays in this game, and he could come in and play. He's not. See, everyone thinks he's this great pass catching back, and I haven't even seen him catch a pass in the NFL. Yeah, that's been basically ever.
Yeah, I don't think he ever has. Yeah, in college.
Does he come in and play the Chase Edmonds role if Edmonds misses time? That's the question.
I think he probably will. I mean, maybe James Conner will be more heavily involved, but Benjamin's going to have a role. Probably. I mean, he had 9 touches in the game after Chase Edmonds went down, so you could probably look at him to get 10 to 15 touches a game, maybe 10 to 12. So I think he'll have a small role, but only until Edmonds comes back.
Yeah,
Edmonds
I agree. I mean, the big thing is and I was thinking about this. There's so many different. It's hard because there's no waiver wire guys out there for the running back position at this point. I can't look at it and go, oh my God, we're gonna get this guy. So if you need a guy, Benjamin's not bad. Him and Ty Johnson,
exactly.
It's vomitous. But there's a team in one of our leagues that went 0 running back, and his RB1 is Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, that's fun.
RB2 is Michael Carter. So there you go.
Yeah. I should have picked him up.
Yeah.
He put $1 more on Michael Carter than I did, the guy who owns him early.
Yeah. And you just
week 1. Yeah.
Anyway. Jordan Howard had some good game against well, I can't remember. He didn't have. I gotta look. Before I start saying
The Raiders.
things. I don't believe he had a good game, but he had a decent game. So Jordan Howard has been, since Miles Sanders has been out, he's kind of been the guy, realistically, for the Eagles in the backfield. He had 12 carries against Detroit, 17 carries against the Chargers. And now you have Denver, New Orleans coming up. Those are tougher matchups, but this is definitely a guy that I think you can go out and grab. I actually kind of like I don't know how long Miles Sanders is out, by the way, so take this with a grain of salt. I probably should look that up right now. But if Miles Sanders is going to be out for the next couple weeks, like maximum of like 3 or 4, he's officially on IR. This was 9 days ago, so he's got to be out for 3 weeks. So he's going to be out for at least 2 more, I think. Unless
you want Jordan Howard against the Broncos or Saints, though?
No. Is this like season-long IR or?
No. He's only going to be out 2 weeks, I think.
Okay. But Howard's been good, so I think he's probably my favorite ad.
Okay.
Of the group.
That's fair. It's disgusting, but it's fair.
And then a couple of other interesting ads. So Randry Stevenson looks real good. I don't know if you watched the game Sunday, but he looked really good.
He did. He looked like the best running back on the team.
He really did. This is not like you're not going to be able to start him. That's the big thing. I don't really know what New England's doing at the running back position anyway, besides Damian Harris. Like, Damian Harris is the key guy. Harris I don't know if it affected him or if he came back in the game. I can't remember, but he did get hurt at one point. Forcing him and Stevenson got hurt, and it brought Bolton into the game to start full time over here. That's gross.
Yeah.
But anyway, but Stevenson showed some good, like, he's not he had 44 yards in the passing game too. My goodness, Rhamondre.
Yeah, wasn't it all in like one play though?
Yeah, probably.
he had like a 40-yard catch.
Yeah, you're right. I was like, that's a lot. It's very efficient. Efficient. Anyway, but he could be a good speculative ad for your fantasy team. See where that goes, because if he starts to get more of a snap percentage, or an increased role on the pads, that could lead to good things.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Anyone else?
I think he should be worth the pickup, but none of these guys, I mean, at this point, I don't even know if you have waiver budget left, but I don't think you're putting a waiver budget on any of these players.
Yeah, me neither.
It's kind of sad.
Foreman,
we can move.
Deonta Foreman, by the way. Tennessee.
No.
He played running back. He had 5 carries, 29 yards. He kind of looked like the best running back on the Titans.
Which is disgusting. But...
yeah, that's very disgusting. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to the wide receiver position. So, Brandon Ayuk, baby, is back.
Hey.
And he's back with a vengeance. 8 targets, 6 catches, 15 fantasy points, 1 tutty, 89 yards. You know, Kyle Shanahan's the biggest fraud in the NFL. We have some teams over here. I think I've said this before. We have some teams over here, New England Patriots, who are struggling to find talent to throw the ball to. And then Kyle Shanahan's over there in San Francisco benching talent because, they showed up 2 minutes late to practice and he's just hot stuff. Good luck with that.
Right.
Yeah, good luck losing football games, Kyle. Why don't you put your talented players on the field? Because that's how you win games, buddy. Anyway, it took him halfway through the game to figure out Brandon Ayuk was the guy to target in the game, and he had a really good game. I would 100% add this guy.
Yeah.
Down the stretch, great schedule. This could be a late season ad or mid to late season ad that could help you win your league.
Yeah, if he's available in your league, you should 100% pick him up.
I would drop all waiver budget, but for whatever reason in the home league, the guy who has him held on to him like glue.
Yeah.
Through the 0-1, 12, 2, 4-1 games. So I don't get it.
I think someone in the league that we do together, I think he's available in that league. I think.
Let's go grab him. What are you doing?
Let me double check. I actually don't know if he is.
Probably got picked up. But either way, yeah, Brandon Ayuk is number one guy, I think, to add.
Wide receiver position, yeah.
Anybody else, Rick?
Someone did pick him up. If it's kind of still a gross list. Do you want Donovan Peoples-Jones with Odell officially out of the picture with the Browns?
He's interesting. I know at the receiver position, I should say, not receiving position, but the receiver position. I would say Donovan Peoples-Jones is their goal line, not goal line, but their red zone target at this point.
Sure.
Yeah. With Odell gone, I don't think they're trying to target Jarvis Landry in the red zone because I don't think that's his role. No, you see them going after Ayuk, Hooper in the red zone. I think Peoples-Jones is going to be one of those guys. His second receiver on the team. This week he had 15 fantasy points. He missed the game against Denver, missed the game against Pittsburgh, and he had 24 against Arizona. So the last couple times he's played, he's had some really, really good performances. It's not bad. Yeah. I would definitely pick him up. I don't know why he's ranked so low on this list. Once again, owned in our home league.
Which is funny. But yeah, I would pick him up. For sure, I'd pick him up. He's probably number 2 on my list, behind Ayuk. I think Bateman, he still hasn't put up big numbers, but he's getting targeted a lot.
Yeah, people are hyped on Bateman, but he's no different than like.
He's not doing anything, but he has 6 targets, and 8 targets in his 3 games.
497, I should say.
Right, but you got to look at volume, bro. The volume's there. If he just puts it together, he's going to be putting up like 14-point weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely. He should be rostered. I just don't know what he's going to do with it.
Yeah.
Second they get in the red zone, they either run it or throw it to Mark Andrews. So, like, Bateman's going to have to, like, crack one.
Yeah.
In order to score a touchdown.
True. That might be the end of the list for me, to be honest.
Van Jefferson and Michael Gallup aren't bad, but I feel like I've talked about Michael Gallup for, like, 10 weeks now.
Dude, Elijah Moore had 23 fantasy points this week.
Speculative ad, yes. Waiver budget, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. It's wide receiver positions also. This is a weird, gross, like, fantasy week. For
it is a gross week
for the waiver wire. But anyway, let's move to the tight end position. Logan Thomas, I believe he's coming back from injury, so if he's not rostered, he should.
Was he on this list last week?
I believe so. He's coming off IR,
so
you know he could practice this week.
Yep.
So I would say you can add him. He didn't seem to be slowing down fantasy-wise in the weeks that he played 10, 7, 10. And he's the guy that they want to target in the red zone, so I would pick up Logan Thomas. Conglin's been an interesting player to have. I guess he's getting the target share of. I will say this. Can we talk about Minnesota's offense blows right now?
Yeah.
They just scored 30, so I should slow down with the blows. But
they had a good week. But they did like half of that in like a quarter and a half.
So their problem is they're not giving, and this is just me being a fantasy manager getting triggered, but they're not giving the ball enough to Dalvin Cook.
I don't think they're giving the ball to any of their stars enough. Because Cook had
the offense starts with Cook.
Right.
You run it with him, you set up play action, you throw it to Jefferson and Thielen. That's how you do it. They're trying to just throw it out the gate right now, and it's like, stop. Go back to what you know, you brickheads.
What they were. So, did you watch that game?
Yeah, pieces of it.
Yeah, so they threw the ball in the first quarter, was working. They ran the ball, it was working. Justin Jefferson, I think, on the first drive had like a 60-yard touchdown. After that 60-yard touchdown, I want to say he had like 3 targets. In that first, so in the first drive, he had 3 targets, right? Mm-hmm. Including a 60-yard touchdown.
Right.
After that, he had 2 targets for 1 catch. Rest of the game.
That's freaking disgusting.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
They got to figure it out. Like I said, it for them starts with the run game. You get that going. You get him involved in the passing game. All that stuff sets things up, and then you can start throwing it to Thielen and Jefferson a lot. the way they're running their offensive scheme is just garbage right now. It's not good. So figure it out, Minnesota. But Conklin's been getting 6 to 7 targets a game.
That's kind of gross. You know who else is, though, and I think has been playing.
That's gross for Conklin, but for Schultz, it's enough. Is that what we're saying?
Dan Arnold, baby. Dan Arnold.
Oh,
okay. Had 10 targets last week. Had 7 targets this week. He's the number 2 option in the passing game for Trevor Lawrence. 10 fantasy points and 8 fantasy points for a tight end. That's not even that bad. That's like a low end tight end one.
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
He should be picked up.
Yeah, I mean, this is funny because we don't usually talk about tight ends.
I know.
And Evan Ingram has actually not been bad the last couple of weeks. Been catching some touchdowns though.
I know, but do you think that's just because everybody has been injured on the Giants?
When everybody's healthy? Dan Arnold is going to end up being a good tight end rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
they're all the same, besides Logan Thomas.
No, that's fair.
Where's Trotman even on this list? Adam Trotman. That was our biggest swing and a miss at the tight end position this year.
True, but he was like the tight end like 20th, so it's not.
How many years in a row do you think I'm going to make Trotman like a guy?
Oh, we might try again next year.
Yeah, let's throw him on the list next year. But anyway, there's your waiver wire targets for this week, guys. I feel like that outro sequence is real slow.
Was a little bit.
Took forever to get the audio going. But anyway, yeah, waiver wire, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end positions. Go put in your waiver claims. Hopefully you enjoyed Monday Night Football, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, guys, about Thursday Night Football.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.